the spot that was ignored. The volcanic winds of Dracoria howled like ancient spirits across the jagged cliffs of the dragon stronghold. Ash drifted lazily in the blood-red sky, settling on the broad shoulders of Rykath as he stood surveying the horizon. His scales, once gleaming silver-blue, were now dulled by decades of battle and hardship, marked by scars earned in countless wars. A veteran among dragons, his reputation for ferocity and wisdom was known far beyond the volcanic ranges. But today, something small distracted him, a tiny, dark spot nestled between the scales on his left forearm. At first glance, it looked like nothing more than a simple blemish, a minor injury perhaps picked up during sparring or scrape against jagged rock. Rykath flexed his claws and rubbed the spot with his claw tips. Nothing. No pain. No irritation. Just a faint shadow on his otherwise gleaming hide. Just a spot, he muttered to himself, voice low and gravelly. Not worth worrying about. Yet, the spot pulsed faintly, almost imperceptibly, beneath his touch. Nearby, the human nurse Mara watched quietly. She was an anomaly among the dragon society, a fragile human with pale skin and bright, curious eyes, entrusted with the care of dragons despite the whispered doubts of many. Her medical training, both human and adapted for dragons, was the result of decades of collaboration between species. Mara admired the strength and history etched into Rykath's scars but could not ignore the subtle oddity she sensed in the dark mark. "Rykath," Mara called gently, stepping closer. "May I take a closer look?" The veteran dragon's eyes narrowed, a flicker of wariness crossing his ancient face. Humans were delicate, their presence barely tolerated by many of his kind. But Mara had proven herself time and again, her hands steady, her mind sharp. And if anyone could see the unseen, it was her. "Fine," Rykath said gruffly, extending his forearm. Mara knelt beside him, her gloved hands moving with practiced precision over his scales. The spot was no larger than a pebble, dark and almost metallic in its hue. She brushed it lightly, and it pulsed again, this time a little stronger. "This isn't ordinary," Mara murmured, eyes wide as she activated her scanning device, a compact instrument designed to analyze tissue, energy signatures, and foreign material. The device hummed softly as it traced the spot. Rykath's tail twitched with impatience. "It's probably just a battle scar, nurse. Dragons wear many." But Mara's screen blinked with an alarm, a complex pattern of readings that did not match any injury or natural marking in her extensive database. This is something else," she said carefully. "Not a wound, not a parasite. It's ancient," Rykath finished quietly, his gaze now fixed on the glowing readout. Mara nodded. "I've never seen anything like it. It's embedded beneath the scales, but it doesn't appear to be part of your biology." "Could it be a curse?" one of the nearby dragon guards whispered nervously. "Superstition ran deep among their kind." "Or a weapon," another added, eyes narrowing. Rykath stiffened. "Enough. This spot has been here for months, maybe years. I have not felt pain or sickness. If it were a weapon or a curse, it would have shown itself by now." Mara shook her head, her scientific mind refusing to accept complacency. "It's dormant for now, but it's alive, in a way. I need to run deeper scans, magnetic resonance, energy mapping. Whatever this is, it's not natural." Rykath's eyes flickered with reluctant trust. "Do what you must, nurse. But if you find anything threatening, you will tell me." "I will," Mara promised. As Mara prepared her equipment, the other dragons watched with a mixture of suspicion and awe. Humans had never been considered equals, much less trusted with dragon secrets. Yet here they were, saving their mightiest warrior from an unknown threat. Hours passed as the scans ran, filling Mara's device with endless streams of cryptic data. She cross-referenced every pattern with her medical libraries, ancient dragon lore, and cosmic databases from human archives. Nothing matched. Finally, Mara sat back, exhaustion shadowing her delicate features. "This is bigger than we thought," she said softly. Rykath's deep voice broke the silence. "Then we face it head-on. I am a warrior. Whatever hides beneath my scales, it will not break me." Mara met his gaze, the faintest smile touching her lips. With your strength and my knowledge, maybe we stand a chance. As twilight fell over Dracoria, the spot on Rykath's forearm shimmered faintly in the fading light. Silent, mysterious, waiting. The hidden legacy. The stronghold's medical wing buzzed with a quiet intensity. Mara sat at a console, her fingers dancing over holographic displays, cross-referencing the mysterious implant's data with every source she could find. Dragon histories, human scientific records, even obscure cosmic phenomena. The more she learned, the deeper the mystery grew. Rykath sat nearby, his massive form curled on a raised platform, eyes half-closed but alert. His battle-worn scales caught the flickering light as he flexed his claws, an old habit when restless. The veteran dragon had never been one to succumb easily to fear, but this strange growth beneath his scales gnawed at something primal within him. "Mara," he rumbled quietly, voice rough like gravel. "What have you found?" Mara looked up from the data streams. "It's not a parasite or weapon as we feared. It's something far older, something cosmic." Rykath blinked slowly. "Explain." She took a deep breath and began. "Your spot. It's actually an ancient implant. Some sort of biomechanical relic embedded deep in your scales, with a complex structure that's neither fully organic nor purely technological. It predates even your oldest known ancestors. The data suggests it was created by a civilization far beyond our galaxy, one that fought an ancient war eons ago." Rykath's sharp eyes narrowed. "An ancient war, like the legends." "Exactly," Mara said, tapping the display to bring up faded, weathered images of dragon carvings and star maps. "There are stories in your archives about the First War, a conflict between powerful cosmic forces that shaped dragonkind's destiny. It's believed that dragons were enhanced during that war, given strength and longevity through gifts or curses. This implant matches those descriptions." The room fell silent. Rykath's mind raced through fragments of ancient tales passed down through generations, of dragons wielding strange powers, of battles that shattered stars, of mysterious forces bending fate itself. "So," Mara continued, "this implant isn't just a remnant. It's active, though dormant. It has the potential to influence your physiology, your strength, even your mind." Rykath's claws dug into the platform's edge. "And if it awakens?" "That's what worries me," Mara admitted. "It could enhance you beyond anything we've seen, but it could also enslave you, or worse. The original creators might have intended it as a failsafe, something to control or destroy their weapons if they ever went rogue." The veteran dragon exhaled a low growl, torn between awe and fear. "Why was I chosen to carry this?" Mara shook her head. "I don't know, but the scans show this isn't unique to you. There are subtle signs, spots, faint energy traces, on others, too. It's a widespread phenomenon, buried deep within dragon DNA." Just then, the door hissed open, and a group of elder dragons entered, their regal presence filling the room. The eldest, a massive dragon named Vila, fixed Rykath with a stern gaze. "We have heard whispers," Vila said, "about this implant. It is an affront to our sovereignty, an unknown power seated within our kind without our consent." Rykath stood, voice steady. "It was there long before us, Vila. This is part of our legacy." Vila's eyes burned. "Legacy or curse, it is a threat. It must be removed or destroyed before it corrupts us all." Mara stepped forward, hands raised calmly. "We don't know if it's harmful yet. Destroying it blindly could kill the host, or worse, triggers something catastrophic." Vila's gaze flickered to her with thinly veiled distrust. "A human meddling in dragon fate. This is dangerous." Rykath raised a claw, silencing the room. "We need knowledge, not fear. Mara's discovery could save us. If we act hastily, we doom ourselves." The tension was palpable, but Vila nodded grudgingly. "Very well. We grant you time to investigate. But if the implant endangers the clan, then I will face that fate," Rykath interrupted firmly. Mara returned to her data, working tirelessly alongside Rykath as they explored the implant's functions. Over days, They noticed strange changes. The implant began emitting faint pulses, subtle energy waves that seemed to react to Rykath's emotions and surroundings. When he grew angry or focused, the energy intensified. When calm, it subsided. One night, Rykath awoke from a deep sleep, drenched in sweat, heart pounding. Vivid dreams had invaded his mind. Visions of starships, distant galaxies, and an ancient battle where dragons fought against shadowy cosmic entities. He shuddered, feeling an unfamiliar power stirring beneath his scales. Mara found him the next morning, eyes still glazed with residual images. The implant is affecting your mind. He nodded. I saw things, memories that aren't mine. Or maybe they are, from the past. We need to understand these visions. They might hold the key to controlling this power. As they delved deeper, Mara uncovered a hidden function within the implant, a communication channel, perhaps. It was as if the ancient creators had left a message encoded in its core, waiting for someone worthy to unlock. But unlocking it would come at a cost. A shadow loomed over the stronghold. Word of the implant's awakening spread beyond Dracoria, reaching hostile ears. Forces that had lain dormant in the galaxy for millennia stirred once more, drawn by the reactivation of the ancient technology. Rykath and Mara knew their fight was only beginning. The awakening threat. The stronghold was on edge. Since the implant's faint energy pulses began, Rykath's behavior had changed in ways no one could ignore. His strength surged unpredictably, sometimes astonishing, sometimes terrifying. His ancient wounds ached anew, and at times his eyes glowed faintly like twin stars beneath thick eyelids. Mara stayed by his side, working tirelessly to stabilize him. She adjusted her medical instruments, monitored his vital signs, and scanned the implant's energy waves. The deeper she probed, the more complex the implant's mechanisms revealed themselves to be. Part organic, part machine, and part something she couldn't yet explain. This is no simple relic, she murmured one evening as she reviewed the latest data. It's a symbiotic interface. It responds to his emotions, his will. It can enhance or overwhelm. Rykath grimaced, clutching his forearm where the spot shimmered with unnatural light. I feel it trying to take control. Sometimes my thoughts aren't my own. Mara nodded gravely. That's the danger. The implant isn't just a power source. It's a connection, perhaps to the creators themselves or their war machines. Word spread quickly throughout the stronghold that Rykath was no longer the same dragon who had once ruled the battlefield. Rumors flew among the dragon clans. Some whispered that the implant was a curse meant to enslave their kind. Others believed it was a divine blessing, a way to reclaim lost glory. Then, more dragons began to come forward. Small dark spots appeared along their scales. Subtle energy pulses flickered beneath the surface. The ancient legacy was awakening in many, not just Rykath. Mara realized this was no isolated case. It was a species-wide phenomenon waiting to be unlocked. While she worked, dark news reached the stronghold. From the edges of the galaxy, distant fleets of unknown origin had detected the implant's activation. These were no ordinary warships. They were relic hunters and conquerors, alien factions intent on seizing or destroying anything tied to the ancient cosmic war. The Council summoned Rykath and Mara. The activation of these implants endangers us all, Vila declared, his voice heavy with dread. If our enemies learn to control this power before we do, the dragons will be enslaved or wiped out. Mara spoke up. We must unify. Humans have technology and knowledge that complement dragon strength. Together, we can unlock the implant's full potential, safely. Many dragons bristled at the suggestion, but Rykath's commanding presence quelled dissent. We have no choice. Our survival depends on cooperation. As the days passed, Rykath's implant pulsed more strongly, granting him bursts of incredible strength and agility. He could fly faster, breathe fire hotter, and heal faster than ever before. But each surge brought agonizing convulsions that left him drained. One afternoon, during a training exercise, Rykath's power exploded uncontrollably. Flames surged from his maw with a brightness that scorched the nearby cliffs, and his scales shimmered like molten metal. Fellow dragons watched in awe and fear. It's too much, Mara said urgently, rushing to his side. We need to control it, or you'll burn yourself out. Together, they devised a plan to train Rykath's mind to sync with the implant, using meditation, neural feedback, and advanced tech interfaces. Slowly, he learned to channel the power instead of being overwhelmed by it. Meanwhile, Mara's research uncovered a startling revelation. The implant was more than a power source. It was a beacon, a signal, pulsing through the stars, calling its creators home. And those creators were on their way. The enemy fleet arrived swiftly and without warning. Warships blotted out the stars above the stronghold, their weapons locked onto the dragons below. The dragons, bolstered by newfound strength and human allies, prepared for battle. Rykath stood at the forefront, the implant glowing bright beneath his scales. His voice thundered over the assembled warriors. Today, we fight not just for survival, but for our legacy. As enemy ships unleashed devastating blasts, dragons soared into the sky, weaving through laser fire and retaliating with blazing breath and powerful talons. Mara coordinated medical aid and tactical support from the command center, her calm voice guiding warriors through the chaos. Rykath felt the implant surge, amplifying his senses and strength. He moved like a force of nature, faster, stronger, smarter. With every strike, the ancient power coursed through him, merging dragon fury with cosmic energy. But the implant's influence was a double-edged sword. The more Rykath wielded its power, the more the line between his will and the implant's were blurred. During a critical moment, a powerful enemy energy blast struck him squarely. Rykath staggered, pain ripping through his body, but Mara's quick intervention stabilized him. She injected a complex serum designed to suppress the implant's overload, buying him time. I won't fall here, Rykath growled. Not while I still breathe. The battle raged on, dragons and humans fighting side by side against overwhelming odds. As the enemy fleet faltered under their fierce resistance, Rykath's eyes blazed with determination. This power is ours to command, he declared, and we will not let it be our doom. But as victory seemed within reach, a shadow loomed deeper in space, a greater threat, awakened by the beacon, moving closer. The true war was just beginning. Unity beyond scales. The sky above the Dracorian stronghold was a raging tempest of fire and steel. Enemy warships swarmed like locusts, darkening the horizon with their massive forms and deadly weapons. Below, dragons roared defiantly, their wings beating thunderously against the heavy air as they soared into battle. Rykath stood atop the highest volcanic spire, the implant beneath his scales glowing fiercely, a pulsating beacon of ancient power and newfound hope. Around him, dragons flexed their claws and spread their wings, ready to defend their home with every ounce of strength. But beside them, humans, fragile in appearance but fierce in spirit, manned artillery, coordinated strategy, and tended to the wounded. Mara moved swiftly between command stations, her calm voice a steadying force amidst chaos. Medical teams, prepare for mass casualties. Shield units, focus fire on the eastern flank. Rykath, your neural sync is holding. Use the implant's energy to shield the ground forces. Rykath nodded, feeling the symbiotic bond between his mind and the implant deepen. The power surged within him, empowering his muscles, sharpening his reflexes. He unleashed a roar that echoed across the battlefield, wings stretching wide as he charged into the thick of enemy fighters. The alien warships fired relentlessly, their energy beams carving trails through volcanic rock and scorching the ground. Yet the dragons were no longer the ancient beasts of legend. They moved with precision, their attacks coordinated through human communication networks. Mara's team had integrated human technology with dragon prowess, forging a bond stronger than anyone had imagined. Rykath dodged a barrage of plasma bolts, weaving through the sky with unnatural speed. Flames erupted from his jaws, engulfing a cruiser that had closed in too quickly. The explosion lit the clouds with a brilliant orange glow. Around him, fellow dragons unleashed their fury, empowered by the implant awakening within many of their kind. But the battle was costly. Dragons fell from the sky, wounded and exhausted. Humans worked tirelessly to stabilize the injured, the medical techniques keeping the once fragile species alive against impossible odds. Suddenly, Rykath felt a sharp pain, an intense surge from the implant. It was not just powering him, it was communicating. Images flooded his mind, visions of a dark force lurking beyond the battlefield, a greater enemy awakened by the beacon his implant had sent out. This is no ordinary war, he thought grimly. It's a war for the very soul of our kind. Mara, noticing his sudden stiffening, called through the comms. Rykath, status. I see it, he answered, voice strained. Something massive approaches. We must hold the line. As if summoned by his words, a colossal ship, far larger than any other, emerged from the starry void. Its design was alien, sinister, and ancient, pulsing with dark energy that seemed to sap the light from the stars themselves. Vila's voice came over the comm, steady but urgent. This is the Leviathan, an ancient war machine thought lost in the cosmic void. If it lands, it will consume everything. Mara's fingers flew over her console. We have no choice. We must combine every resource, every ounce of strength. Rykath felt the implant thrumming wildly, responding to the Leviathan's presence. He turned to the gathered dragons and humans. Today, we do not fight as separate species, he roared. We fight as one. For our home. For our future. With a unified cry, dragons surged forward, with humans providing support from the ground and air. Mara led teams that repaired damaged wings, treated burn wounds, and boosted morale with her unwavering determination. The Leviathan unleashed a wave of dark energy, knocking several dragons from the sky and shattering human shields. The stronghold trembled under the assault, but Rykath, fully attuned to the implant now, soared directly at the Leviathan. Flames roared brighter than ever, infused with cosmic energy that turned the air around him to molten fire. With a mighty strike of his clawed hand, he tore through the ship's outer hull, disrupting its power core. The Leviathan shuddered but retaliated, sending out a pulse that threatened to sever Rykath's connection to the implant. Pain seared through him, but Mara's voice echoed in his mind, steady and encouraging. Focus on your will, Rykath. You are stronger than this. Summoning every shred of strength, Rykath channeled the implant's power into a focused beam of energy, piercing the Leviathan's heart. The ancient war machine groaned, its systems failing as it began to collapse. Around him, dragons and humans rallied, pushing the enemy fleet into retreat. As silence fell, the stronghold was battered but unbroken. The victory was hard-won, a testament to the unity forged in fire and blood. Vila approached Rykath, eyes shining with respect. You have proven that strength is not in scales or flesh alone, but in trust and unity. Mara smiled warmly. And this is only the beginning. Together, we can unlock the secrets of this legacy and protect our future. Rykath looked to the horizon, the implant's light now steady and warm. The ancient power was no longer a curse but a beacon of hope, a symbol of a new era where dragons and humans stood side by side. The war had tested them, but it had also united them. Together, they would rise.